Hello, welcome to Creative Panoply on Sabi Writers TV. My name is Bolakemi. On today's edition of Creative Panoply, we'll be discussing the topic, the art of storytelling in professional writing. Yes, so regardless of the niche you've carved for yourself, whether in business writing, fiction writing, copywriting, content writing, or any other form of writing you can think of, storytelling is an integral part. And thankfully, I'm not the only one that shares this view. And today, I have with me a beautiful and talented young lady in the studio. So stay tuned and I'll be right back after the short break to introduce to you who that damsel is. Welcome back, guys. So before the short break, I told you I had a guest with me here. Yes, she's my colleague, a beautiful damsel at that. And she is Elizabeth Anaba. You're welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
So what should I call you, Elizabeth or Elizabeth or...
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, something.
Okay.
Beth. Yeah, Elizabeth is fine.
Okay, so Elizabeth, we are... Okay, let's assume you are going for a job interview. So this is an interview. I'm your interviewer.
Okay.
So you have to shoot your shot to me in 60 seconds. So tell me about yourself.
I'm foremost a writer.
A writer?
I'm a teacher also.
Okay.
I'm a linguist because I love linguistics. Phonetics precisely.
So I think I should watch my grammar, yeah?
No, you shouldn't. Please be free. No. I'm not the grammar police. I'm just a linguist that studies language.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So that's who I am. I'm just me. And I love food. Please, let's not leave that out. I really love food. So,
foodie.
I'm a foodie.
Okay, thank you so much, Elizabeth. So let's go back to the topic for discussion, storytelling in the world of professional writing. So let's do a background definition of what storytelling is in this context. So what is storytelling to you?
I'll describe storytelling as recounting an event.
Okay.
So you are recounting an event or a story or an occurrence in various forms. It can be through paintings, it can be through sculptures, it can be through this writing.
Okay.
You can tell stories in different forms. Photographs, movies, stories come to us in different forms.
Okay, so let's bring it down to writing in particular.
Okay.
What is storytelling?
In writing, I believe storytelling is the interaction between a reader and a written piece of art.
Okay.
A written piece of story.
Okay.
So
it's more
that's
like
imaginative,
emotional feeling you get when you're reading the work.
Yes, that's storytelling.
Okay.
In writing.
So if you're saying that's storytelling, so how would you relate it to writer? Okay, let me bring it to this, let me bring it this way. Storytelling and writing, are they two different skill sets? So when a writer tells you, I'm not a storyteller, I'm a writer.
Okay.
Or I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller, I'm not a writer. So how do you draw that? But I would say it's a thin line though.
Yes.
Something you can at least see.
Yes.
But there's still a difference.
Dissect them.
So what's the difference?
Okay, in my opinion, I believe now writing, I like to think of writing as an overall, like an umbrella term for things that go beyond storytelling. Okay. Although somehow there is the interweave. How? I believe you can be a storyteller without necessarily being a writer, and a writer without necessarily being a storyteller. Okay,
sorry to cut you short. Storytelling in this sense is not just you narrating a tale or saying something. Yes. Just to be clear, we are still on the same page. Okay. It's not you just narrating like, okay, I want to tell you a story about how my day went or about tortoise and his friends.
So it's like fiction writing?
Yes, more like it.
Okay, so there is, as we said, there's the fiction writing, and then you have that storytelling, or you can even be telling a story that is not even fiction, that is non-fiction. But then there is the factual kind of writing where you are not necessarily telling a story, but you are bringing facts. And that's where you have such people as academic writing. Now, I'm not saying that these people also cannot infuse storytelling into their writing. I'm just saying that storytelling has its own techniques that not all writers may follow. Or not all writers may possess. Storytelling draws on imagination. Storytelling draws on perspectives. Storytelling draws on style. And for some, and it's not rigid. But there are some writings that come to you and they are rigid. And then you find yourself no longer in the sphere of storytelling. You are now writing, let's say, a thesis, or I mean, those kind of writings that have to do with stating facts, bringing numbers, and bringing
report writing.
Yes, exactly. So that's where you kind of see a thin line. Although sometimes, especially in this report writing, business writing, and all those, you find yourself having to bring in stories to buttress your point, or to make something clearer, or to back up a statement or something.
Okay, so as a writer, how important is storytelling to a writer? How important is storytelling to a writer?
I will use a story. No, not a story. I'll use an example. There is a book titled The Study of Language by George Yule. And when I came in contact with that book, I had a group of friends, of course, in the university, and I asked them, "What's your favorite book on linguistics?" And they told me George Yule. And I'm like, "Why?" And they said, at the beginning of every chapter, George Yule opens it with a story. And the story he opens it with makes it easier for them to understand what follows. So it's enlightening on what is supposed to follow. That's one. And two, the friend of mine said that it keeps him anticipating the next chapter. So now, when you ask me how important is storytelling to a professional writer, I like to believe storytelling educates you or enlightens you on things happening. For instance, you want to write something and it's complex, or it's not something a person is familiar with. How is the best way to make it, more familiar or more intelligible to them? A story. A story helps you understand something. A story helps you retain knowledge. You tell me, "Oh, this is this." The best way I'm going to retain it is if somehow in your telling process, you tell a story. And you're telling me of a particular thing or a new knowledge, new information, something novel, you tell me a story. I'll always remember.
So storytelling is more relatable. It makes a piece of writing more relatable and enjoyable. Okay, so as a professional writer, has storytelling helped you in your writing?
Yes, it has.
So just give us an instance.
I realized that I could express myself better. I could express myself better in that project because I started it with a story, or I ended it with a story.
Okay.
Do you understand? And sometimes along the way, like I infuse that writing with the art of storytelling. So it spurred my creativity to be able to deliver that work, even though it was out of my niche.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So despite the fact that it was out of my niche, the storytelling, the art of storytelling, that ability to storytell, helped me make that book a success.
Okay, and as a writer, you would say storytelling is a way to spur you out of your, would I say, comfort zone?
Exactly.
Right now? So it's a way to make you stay comfortable outside
your
that
comfort zone. Yes. I think that's the best.
So how would I develop my storytelling ability as a writer?
There are different ways. The advice that you start by storytelling, start by telling a story. You have to practice telling a story to people, to yourself. You practice writing stories. The only way you can get somewhere is to practice it.
Practice writing.
Yes.
Story.
So
Okay.
practice writing stories. You can hone your abilities also by researching,
Okay.
reading other other works of storytellers. You can also hone your storytelling ability by journaling. I
Okay.
found out that journaling helps me get better at this act of storytelling. It's a therapeutic process. It spurs my creativity. It's enriching. I go back. I go forth. I go back. I see things I did differently. I go back. I mean, have you ever gone back to a journal of yourself like a year ago, and then you see things, and you're like, oh, I wrote this. Oh, okay. So, and then you see how you want to improve that.
That's true.
Storytelling by journaling, honing your abilities is transformative. It takes you through the process, and you find out that you're actually getting better at it. So yeah, I think that.
So what other things do you do?
So I also try to live through life. That sounds
okay.
Yeah, but we find out that we're going through life just being very busy. But when you go through it, paying attention to things, recounting them in your head, recounting them on paper, you find yourself getting better at it.
True. I think that's actually very important, because sometimes drawing out lessons from little things that happen even in your daily life. It could be maybe while you were walking along the road, you saw a man, or you just witnessed an incident or something just random.
Yes.
That can actually fetch you like a very large pool of audience, and you won't know how you just skyrocket your writing.
Yes.
Well, that's true. Thank you very much for that. So, well, I would also say storytelling is also timely in this age. Looking at the digitalization in this era, and the fact that literally everyone is going online.
Yes.
And to catch people's attention online, then that piece of writing has to be very juicy. Like, it has to be very catchy and relatable. And most times people are delving towards the relatable aspect of writing, of content, actually. Let me not just put it out there as writing content, because if I'm going online and I'm watching, I'm reading a blog article or even Instagram.
Okay.
I need to see something before I click. Like, something has to pull me in.
Yes.
And that's where storytelling, businesses actually jump on
thrive on storytelling.
Like, it's very, very important for content writing, copy. I think all form of writing actually, they need storytelling to thrive. Thank you so much for that, Elizabeth. So before we enter this shoot, can you give us, well, I don't want you to say you should drop an Elizabetharian quote.
Elizabetharian, I like that word.
Okay, so just give us a parting shot.
So I'll give two.
Because one
extra. Okay. The first one is, if you ever get confused at the beginning, try storytelling. Get confused in the middle, try storytelling. You get confused at the end, try storytelling. That's the first one.
Okay.
And then I would say the second one is, the beauty is not in the story. King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. So everything we've told has been told.
True.
So the beauty is in the
telling.
It's not in the story, it's in the telling.
Okay. I think I might have to draw you back a bit. I said I was going to wrap up, but I think I wouldn't, because you just said something profound now.
Okay.
You said the beauty is not in the story, but in the telling. Can you explain further?
Okay, so I believe it's in the technique of telling.
Okay.
It's in the style. You could come across two stories that are talking about love that was lost. You could come across two similar stories of Romeo and Juliet. I mean, if you remember Oedipus Rex by Sophocles, and then you have Olarotimi's, what's the title of that story?
Is it The Gods Are Not to Blame?
The Gods Are Not to Blame, yeah.
Okay.
These are two stories, one adapted from the other. So why did we find ourselves still reading Olarotimi's The Gods Are Not to Blame? Why? It's the telling. It's the telling.
I love it, by the way.
Do you understand? We already knew the story from Oedipus Rex, but still we read The Gods Are Not to Blame because the telling was different.
Okay, I also think it's also the relatability of the content.
Yes.
Because I would actually love to hear a story that, okay, let me assume I'm from Nigeria. You're telling me a story about something that I would pick a story that narrates something related
with a setting in
Nigeria.
Setting.
Even if Lagos, I would pick Lagos over anything.
I understand.
So like I can feel it's something that I can think of, I can easily imagine, I can easily picture. So that story, it's drawing it's painting a mental picture in my head already. I'm like, oh yes, this is true. Even if it's not true, I could say, okay, no, this is not true. I need to read it further. Yes. What's this person saying? It's wrong.
Yes.
So I think storytelling is just something we can't take away from, not just writing, from this life.
Yes, actually.
From this life, like stories are everywhere.
It's generational. We've had it over and over. And then now that we are at the phase of literally putting it down, now we have it in this form. So storytelling has always been there.
Oh, storytelling. Okay, so one last thing before we leave.
Okay,
there's something we usually do on the show. We ask you a question. Yeah, so guys, they don't really know what the question is about, so we just put it to them right here. So we ask you a question.
Okay.
And you have to answer this in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
10 seconds.
Okay.
So you said you're a linguist, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I would want you to mention 10 punctuation marks. In 10 seconds, you have just 10 seconds. And your time starts now.
You have the capital letters, full stop, comma, colon, semicolon, oblique, hyphen, dash,
Okay, she has gone faster. 10 seconds, guys.
Come on, I tried.
She has gone faster. So I think you mentioned 8.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Well, she tried 8 over 10. That's something. It's a pass mark for me. So yeah, she did it. 8 punctuation marks or so.
Do I get something for her?
Nah, you don't.
No.
I'm sure you get something off camera.
I thought I was going to get like 8 claps or like woo woo.
No, of course, I'm sure people are applauding me right there. I'm sure they are doing that. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Everything you shared with us was very profound.
Thank you.
Like storytelling is very important for writers. You need to, and she gave us a very, very important tip. When you're stuck at the beginning of your writing, tell a story.
Yes.
In the middle of your writing, try a story. At the end of your writing, try a story. So storytelling is the way, in case you don't know that. So thank you so much. And I believe you guys enjoyed this program. Don't forget to drop your comments below. If you want to join in the discussion, drop your comments. We will be there to reply everything you have to say. You can hear your views too. Like, just tell us what you think about storytelling and how important storytelling is in this digital age. Would love to know your views on that. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'm sure Elizabeth, you tell them to do that.
Please subscribe. I'm subscribed. I don't know what you're waiting for. There's a lot to gain from this. The last episode I gained a lot. I'm sure you gained a lot. So please subscribe.
You've heard it from Elizabeth. I think I've been the only one saying that for too long. So please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell. Yes, that bell icon, so you can get more notifications as we upload beautiful, amazing content that will come your way. So thank you guys. Till next time on the show, I'm still Folakemi. Yeah, Folakemi. Bye. See you next time.